way.
On fourth down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. This is taken at the 15. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They had a good drive going their first time out. Ended with the interception. The good news is they get kind of a mulligan because we're still at 0-0.
They certainly do. And you notice he spent a lot of time on the phone. You know, I know he wasn't talking to mom and dad on that one. He was talking to the eyes upstairs, talking to the coaching staff. Guaranteed. What did you see? What was I doing? How do we make sure that doesn't happen again in this ball game?
Young looks to throw on 1st down. Getting the football to Davis on an out route. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll be caught by Rice. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
They'll run. This is Holmes. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful, because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Butker's kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. The Niners at 1-5, really struggling here to start the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here, and it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 105 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Gold with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Now back to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
13 yards there and a Niner first.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's second down.
Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did.
Touchdown! A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Niners will extend their lead here just before halftime. Gold to add the extra point. And it's 21-3.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find...
And it's intercepted.
And the 49ers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half, Young. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over. Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Short yardage situation. Here's Charles. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to fourth down. Mahomes throwing on fourth. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Niners take over in terrific field position. The play fake, now Young. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Young out to his left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Though certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up. Taking a shot for Samuel. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
This is taken around the 12. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he is going to lose yardage here. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Mahomes now to throw. To the right side, it's Kelsey. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Now Jamal Charles on 3rd down. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Charles. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that's one of those in-between spots where you like to rely on analytics. Did you like the decision to go for it?
Frankly, I did, because you know I'm an aggressive guy. But that the analytics and the old school go by your feel, that's got to marry up a little bit better, because that one felt like an analytics call that someone didn't have confidence in. You know, normally this coach, I think he would have punted the ball.
Yeah, calculated risk. It didn't work out. On 2nd and 9, Young. And this is caught inside the 5. So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on 4th down. That's what got him this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
Yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up, and it carries over to the other side of the ball.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
The third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50.
And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35.
A big play there for KC. 41 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Mahomes.
Another catch for Valdez-Scantling.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chiefs are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead is down to 28-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And it's starting to look like that 3-game losing streak is going to be a thing of the past here. Coming up 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
156 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Young's throw going to be caught by Davis. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rice. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in.
And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the 49ers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Gold with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
He finds his man complete. It's Gonzalez. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd and 6. Throwing now is Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands but could not hang on.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Now Mahomes got to have this one. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. And they will take a knee here. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. Here's Ward to return. So the victory here for San Francisco. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we have a tight game coming into this. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You know, you just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for San Francisco, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time.